everyone, I will talk about Prairie School architectural style. Content. First of all, I will start the definition of aesthetics. What is the aesthetics? It is branch of philosophical research related to aesthetic, beauty, art, and perception. The word aesthetic is derived from the ancient Greek word astronomy, which means perception of sense. For this reason, it is used as noun in modern English to mean that something can appeal to the senses. Since the meaning of the word is based on sensory perception, its definition is fluid, time varying, and subjective, differing between people and cultures. Aesthetic is a fundamental design principle that defines the pleasing qualities of a design. It includes factors such as aesthetic, visual balance, color, movement, pattern, scale, shape, and visual weight. Designers use aesthetic to complement the usability of their design and therefore enhance functionality with attractive layouts. Prairie School architectural style. Defining the Prairie School style. The Prairie School design style was developed around 1889 and remained popular until about 1990 at the turn of the century. The style originated in Chicago, Illinois, but became popular in the Midwest states and even had a worldwide impact. The style is marked by being uniquely American with little or no inspiration from other cultures and architectural style of the past. Instead, the style aimed to complement the flat plains of Central America with an emphasis on horizontal lines, minimal embellishment, and wide open concept living. History of Prairie School style. How did the Prairie School style come about? The emergence of the Prairie School style was fueled by a small group of dedicated individuals obsessed with the idea of creating a new American architecture. They wanted to develop an architectural style suitable for the American Midwest, free from historical and revitalizing influences. The movement attracted young designers, the best known of which were Louis Sullivan and Frank Lloyd Wright. The term Prairie School was not used by architects to describe themselves, but was originally coined by Alan Brooks, one of the first historians who wrote extensive article about these architects and their work. Um, a schedule showing the development of Prairie School style. How did the Prairie School style develop? The Prairie School developed in tandem with the ideals and design philosophies and arts and craft movements started in the 19th century in England by John Ruskin, William Morris, and others. An alternative to then dominant classical revival influence, both architectural styles share a desire for simplicity and function, like arts and crafts. The Prairie School embraced handcrafting and craftsman goods as a response in opposition to the new assembly line, which they felt resulted in mediocre products and dehumanized workers. Analysis of Prairie School style. Prairie School style emphasis on geometric straight line, exterior frame and grid color should contrast shading, long cluster windows, perimeter grids, casement combination, long vertical and horizontal bands of window, side lights, big picture windows. Again, low-sloped roofs, three or more windows, plain exterior wall, and loss of natural sunlight comes in through the windows. Characteristic of Prairie School: integration with landscape, minimal ornament, low-pitched roof and ceiling, horizontal lines, and open concept life. Emphasis on horizontal lines. Prairie school homes built in American Prairie have pronounced horizontal lines to accentuate and work with it, not against the landscape. Houses are typically built lower than the floor and have lower ceiling, single-story floor plans, banded windows, and long verandas. Minimal ornaments, like the land and inspired them, prairie-style homes have minimal embellishment and general more austere. Some popular details include banded brick accent or natural stone on exterior. Interior design often include more full finish and natural monochrome and similar color schemes. Low-pitched roof and ceiling. Prairie style roof typically brick with a low grade or nearly straight slope, with dropping eaves to accentuate and lengthen in the horizontal lines. Inside the house, this typically turns into a lower ceiling without any walls. Open concept life, the Prairie style rejected the stuffy Victorian style of a past year when rooms were more segmented and closed. Instead, it liked the open Prairie and designs features open floor plans that even allowed the kitchen to appear as an extension of the living space. Since then, open floor plans have become a stable and a popular must-have for American homes. Integration with landscape. The guiding principle of a prairie school design element is integration with the surrounding landscape. The houses were supposed to merge with the Great Plains where they lived, rather than opposing them by man. Horizontal line craftsmanship and minimal accent were not only tied to landscape but also represented American ideals. Um, why is the Prairie School style beautiful or aesthetic? Prefers natural materials rather than taking shelter behind paint and wallpaper. This architectural style has an architectural idea that aims at the relationship, integrity, and harmony of a building with nature and landscape. In fact, while the main principles of this architectural style are naturalness and simplicity, functionality and respect for environment are also in the foreground. With this style of harmony with the environment, the naturalness of materials, the large window, the creation of open and spacious space, and that can be integrated into interior space. They have adopted an aesthetic and beauty understanding that has not been done before and offered new structures to people in this direction. It has been an architectural style that has its own principle different from the architectural style of the past. It adopts more integrated open interior space instead of small box rooms. Important architects of Prairie School. Frank Lloyd Wright, in describing the style, said, "The Prairie has a bit of its own and we should recognize it and accentuate this natural beauty. It's quite level, hence gently sloping roofs, low proportions, quiet skylines, suppressed half-seat chimes and sheltering overhangs, low terrace and outreaching walls, sequestered private gardens." Purcell and Emsley. Purcell and Emsley thinks that the conviction that a building does not end with its simple structure but reaches its final and logical culmin- uh, culmination in the clothing, color, situation, and natural environment, together with its decoration of glass, terracotta, and other textural materials. Uh, Robbie House. Why Robbie House is beautiful or aesthetic? On the exterior, bands of brick and limestone ensure the buildings to the ground, while overhanging eaves and dramatic cantilever roofs house the dwelling. The horizontality of the house is reinforced at every level of the design, from the iconic roofline to the building's bricks and mortar. Um, Thanks to the use of materials, Wright achieves a remarkable balance of the tone and color as the iron speckled brick blends in with the iridescent leaded glass of the windows surrounding the building, while large balconies and terraces cause indoor and outdoor spaces to flow together. Pots and pots at all levels are intended and bloom with the seasons. Um, the Ethno-Purcell house. Why the Ethno-Purcell house is beautiful or aesthetic? The structure of the house is still reinforced with a buff-colored stucco exterior built on concrete foundation. Its overall design and decoration emphasizes a clean, modern aesthetic while serving practical functions and staying in harmony with natural surrounding. Overhanging is with a 7-foot projection of roof and front side of the house, emphasizes the building's horizontality while also regulating heat and light at its entrance. A front wall of art glass windows connection the dwelling's interior to the garden. Uh, the Freding Carter Jr. House. Architect Walter Bailey Griffin designed the Prairie School House, which was built in 1910. The exterior of the house is made of brick and stucco with wooden half timbering and trim. The house's form is distinguished by several projections and receding masses. Its roof includes a large gable in front and overhanging eaves both over the gable and on the flat section of roof to the sides. Thank you for listening.